In this lesson, we're going to create a few categories. Currently, we have just one category, which is the uncategorized. So let's go ahead and add a few more here. So you go to categories and you click on new. When you click on new, put in the category title. I'm just using category 1, but you can call it whatever you want. And you want it to be published. If this is the main category, where it says parent, you don't have to select anything. But if it's a subcategory, you have to add this particular category to that subcategory. And if you want to put an avatar for that category, you can certainly do so. But I'm not going to put one. And do you want this to show the description? You can leave that as yes, or you can put it as no. I'm just going to leave it to yes. And then here you want to restrict this discussion content length. There are times when you may want to limit the number of characters that people put in. I'm sure that, there are times when you've gone to certain websites to fill out a form and you have a certain number of characters, just like on Twitter, has 140, that you can't put more than that. You can set that here, or you can just leave it at no. When you set it to yes, users are only going to be able to put in up to 1,000 character, the max. They can't put anything more than that. But if you set it to no, then of course, they can send you a little bit more extensive. And for this part here, you can be able to put in an email so that every time someone posts in that particular category, you get a notification. For this section down here, don't worry so much about that. And you go to permissions. Now, permissions, you can be able to determine or set the permissions for each category. So let's say for this category, which is category 1, you can choose who have access to this. If you don't want the general public to have access to this category, you can make this category just for the users. So let me choose registered and the super user. Now the super user, of course, is the account owner. All right, so once you check those, you can see here who can select this category when creating discussions. So if you don't want just anyone to select this particular category, if you have, let's say you have if you have a website where people have to pay to, watch your videos, or you want to create a certain discussion for a group of people that's not for anyone else, but just for that group, then you can be able to allow them to have access to this. So let's go ahead and just click add to list. And then this is how we can view discussions in this category. If you want to keep just the registered, or if you want to click just the super user, or you can choose public. That means that the general public registered users are going to be able to see discussions in this particular category. Who can reply? You want to make sure that the public can't reply. So you want to keep the registered users, or whatever other accounts that you want to use here. But I'm just going to keep the registered and the super. Who can view replies in this category? Who can moderate this category? Now, who can view replies? If you have a website that is free, then of course you can make this so that the general public. But there are times when you go to some websites and you can, view the replies of certain topics because they have certain filters set up. Well, this is what this one does. If you don't want for anyone to have access to certain replies, then from a category, then you can certainly use this. And what's going to happen is that people are going to be able to see the discussions, but they're not going to be able to see the reply of that particular discussion. So when someone posts a question, they're going to be able to see the question, but they won't be able to see the reply for that. So that always comes in handy. All right, so once you've done that, you click save and new, and then put in category 2, and you pretty much just follow the same exact step as you did before. All right, let's refresh the categories on the front end. All right, so now here are the categories that we've put up. Category 1 and category 2.